Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
What up, Dell?
I'm your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and we are here for the next 2 hours to say horrible things that make your panties wet. You guys never go with me on these things. How you doing tonight, Scribe?
I'm doing okay. I had a good time hanging out with my sister this morning for breakfast, and then had the wonderment of a TED Excellence. I'll talk about that later. And otherwise, it was just kind of a lazy bones. How are you, Satsu?
Pretty good. Today was a long day, and I don't know if I can articulate why. It just kind of was. But I'm good, though.
Monkey, how are you?
I got to see Peanut.
Yay!
No, not Peanut. Pumpkin.
Oh.
The middle one.
Okay.
Which you can cheer for that one, too. I just said the
Yay!
wrong one. There was a great moment when I'm singing to her, and she looks at me. She says, "Stop!" And she points her finger at me. And I keep singing, and she just keeps getting closer, saying, "Stop," with her finger right in my face. I was like, I think she wants me to stop. Dark Resurrect, thank you, says, "Howdy, LotN and Chat Hooligans." Howdy, sir. Hope you're well. Yeah, just general kind of day, but not bad. And I got to see her, which made it great. So not going to complain. Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies, video games. Hit that like button, guys, and share our stuff. Don't forget, right after this, we'll be over on 2 Cents Plus playing some Raft. A lot of fun over there. Anything else before we move on to the predictable news? Okay. Scribbles.
Scribbles has become incapacitated.
Apparently.
What now?
Hi, welcome back.
Well, you just said my name. I didn't know. Was there a command after that?
He also said your name twice.
Do we have any news today? Oh, before we do that, it is my 33rd womb extraction date. If you still want to embarrass people singing, go ahead. Also, James Colley's Yay Christmas Babies. And that is from Shio.
Womb extraction day.
So Shio's birthday.
Oh.
Shio. This one's for you, sir. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
I hope it was a successful extraction.
Happy birthday, dear Shio.
Got all your parts and stuff.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, sir. And James, is it your birthday? It's James's birthday tomorrow. Okay, but he's not in chat. I thought I saw James. All right. Well, when I see James. So there was news today that we expected, but I like the reaction. So please tell me we have a Chris Saliza thing today.
Well, also Eric Grunstadter birthday.
What's that?
Eric Grunstadter says, "Hey, LotN, I'm 3 hours and 4 drinks into my birthday. Can I get a song?"
Eric, of course. This one's for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I don't sing 2 songs in succession.
Happy birthday to you.
I don't sing any songs in succession.
Happy birthday, dear Eric.
But I do provide colored commentary.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Eric. I hope you have a good one. Stay safe. You almost got me with that colored commentary.
I was just like, yeah, that one's not going to slide by.
Nope. I caught it. Oh,
hilarity.
Scribe, what happened in the world today?
what happened in the world today? Well, it rotated on its axis. It
No, that
revolved
happened
slightly.
to the world.
Oh, the nickel core was surrounded by magma and spun.
Magma.
Molten hot magma. Okay. Well, as you so subtly elicited from me, how about our favorite friend at CNN, Chris Saliza?
Does he really have one? I'm so happy.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I honest to God didn't know.
Chris Eliza's going to tell us how much he hates women now. There we go.
You should see the smile on my face. I'm excited.
Good God, what have we done to you?
Look, that man's a moron, and with the stupid that has gone on today, I cannot wait.
Donald Trump has now become a hugely consequential president. Only now, says Chris Saliza. Oh, nothing, everything prior to this, fuck it. Now he's consequential. All this reporting we did about Russian collusion and corruption and Kavanaugh and Rocket Man and Walls. No. Now, on the 26th of September 2020, now he's a consequential president. Upsetting Hillary Clinton. Now.
What about those 200,000 people he killed? That seems consequential.
President Donald Trump. Hold on. Okay, no, I'm sorry. I have to get this is consequential, guys. This is so fucking important. I can't wait. President Donald Trump has made no secret of his desire to write his name in history. Too late. Oh, and leave a presidential legacy that can't be erased no matter what happens on November 3rd. Too late. And now he has it. I'm taking off my headphones. I'm going to take a walk because now it's consequential, guys.
Just now, yeah, he's not in the history books before this. This
Only
is
now.
brand new.
Only
brand
now.
New. How did I know Chris Saliza of all people would have the dumbest fucking take?
Of course.
Oh,
Shrouded, thank you so much. What about helping with peace in the Middle East? Shrouded, that don't matter. That don't matter. But thank you for the donation.
With his nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court and her likely confirmation by the Senate by the end of next month, Trump will have personally chosen 1/3 of the members of the nation's highest court and reshaped its ideology for decades to come. Assuming Barrett is confirmed, Trump will have appointed more Supreme Court justices in his first term than any president since Richard Nixon, who appointed 4 between 1969 and 1971. And that is in addition to the more than 200 appointments Trump has made to lower courts during his first term in office. It's not too much to say that, with a major helping hand from Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, Trump has remade the judicial branch from top to bottom in a way that his predecessors can only dream of. Could, Chris, there in the past. And that, even if former Vice President Joe Biden beats Trump in 38 days' time, it ensures that the 45th president will be remembered, for good and for ill, by partisans for a generation or more. And then there was a cricket. And then there was a cricket.
Like assholes back out there.
Quote, I'm going to be up to 280 judges very soon, Trump told Washington Post reporter Bob Woodward in May 2020. Quote, nobody's ever had that. 280, nobody's ever had that, unquote. Trump added that federal judicial opening. Trump added that. What? Let me try this again. Trump added that federal judicial opening are like golden nuggets. I mean, openings, Chris? You are an editor at large, aren't you? Large what? Biden, a former chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee, himself acknowledged the impact of a president's ability to appoint judges for a lifetime all the way back in 1991. Oh my God, Biden said something about lifetime appointments of judicial. That's never been spoken of before. Biden said it in 1990.
Real quick, Professor Chaos, thank you. Is Scribbles broken by this more than a TEDx? Laugh out loud. Scribbles, more hurtful than a TEDx? Or?
Nah, Chris Liz is in a category all by himself.
See no evil, thank you. I unironically hope that she gracefully fails the confirmation hearing and will be happy to expound given the opportunity.
I'm not sure I understand
that. He wants the confirmation hearing to fail and said you can expound it. You can put it in the chat there.
Yeah, go ahead. You don't have to.
You don't have to donate. Yeah,
we'll just put it in parts or something because I'm curious why. I mean, not like honestly, I don't have a horse in this race. Whether she gets confirmed or doesn't, she probably will. I don't care because it's beyond my control to begin with. I'm sort of a fatalist that way, but I don't know what the advantage would be by her failing at this point, politically speaking. Let's see. Quote, the decision will affect what happens in this country long after Senator Biden is gone, long after President Bush is gone, long after President Reagan's administrations are forgotten, Biden said in a 1991 speech. If David Souter, God willing, lives as long as the average age of the court now, he'll be making landmark decisions in the year 2020. I'll be dead and gone in all probability, unquote. Well, Biden, you were wrong about that.
Well, not quite.
Let's see. This is back to Chris. That's especially true given the age of Trump's 3 appointees and their ideological makeup. Barrett, at 48, would be the youngest justice on the court, followed by fellow Trump appointees Neil Gorsuch at 53 and Brett Kavanaugh at 55. The next youngest justice is Obama appointee Elena Kagan at 60, but then comes Chief Justice John Roberts, a George W. Bush appointee who is 65 years old. 3 of the 4 youngest justices, therefore, will have been appointed by Republican presidents, with the 3 youngest all put on the high court by Trump. And you got a super chat.
Thank you, Paul, who says, even asshole the cricket is laughing at Chris. Yeah.
Well, asshole.
All right. And then there is the ideological shift. When Trump moved into the White House in January 2017, the Supreme Court had 4 justices appointed by Republican presidents: Roberts, Anthony Kennedy, Clarence Thomas, and Samuel Alito, and 4 justices appointed by Democratic presidents: Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Stephen Breyer, Sonia Sotomayor, and Kagan. The 9th seat, vacated by the death of conservative Antonin Scalia in February 2016, had been left unfilled as Senate Republicans refused to consider Obama's pick for the seat, Merrick Garland. Trump moved quickly, putting Gorsuch into the Scalia seat, swapping a conservative for a conservative. That's not really a swap.
They were different humans.
I suppose that's true. Then when swing vote Justice Anthony Kennedy, who long rankled conservatives with his liberal rulings on issues like gay marriage and abortion, announced his retirement in the summer of 2018, Trump chose Kavanaugh. We know, Chris, you were so lazy. This is, good God, I'm going to skip down to something meaningful. Oh, wait. Okay. No, the rest of the article is just a waste of time. Okay, let me jump all the way to the bottom. What's ironic, okay, is that for all his efforts to make himself someone who will be remembered after he is gone, he would be remembered after he's gone even if he hadn't become president, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Donald Trump.
Trump's legacy will be one that just sort of happened to him.
Really?
Okay,
wow.
I'm going to start over again because I'm okay. What's ironic is that for all his efforts to make himself someone who will be remembered after he is gone, Trump's legacy will be one that just sort of happened to him. Senate Republicans refusing to seat Garland opened the door for Trump to nominate Gorsuch. Kennedy's retirement, over which Trump had zero control, gave him the chance to put Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court. And finally, the death of RBG.
He still named all of them.
Tell me a situation where a president has nominated a new Supreme Court justice that didn't occur after the either death or retirement of the previous justice that they had no control over.
Well, if the narrative that he's trying to spin is true, that raises several questions. What exactly did those presidents do to force those picks to happen? Because that was the narrative here. Did they establish?
Okay, here's the last. Let me get the last sentence in. Let me get the last sentence in. Trump's legacy, or at least a piece of it, is now secure, even if he didn't do much to secure it. except become president of the United States. I mean, aside from that, Chris, what the fuck? You sound like a petulant child more so now. Good God.
Satsu, what you were
right now
getting at there with the implication there is that other presidents assassinated judges.
Yeah.
Putting that aside, Chris, he still became president, which allowed him to nominate those people. You're right. He's absolutely right. He had nothing to do with how they left the court, but he still took proactive steps to put new people in.
They need to hire us to question Chris Eliza about his articles. Like, we need to sit him down and be like, look, okay, if you're going to make that claim, then what did all of the other presidents do exactly to enable them to mark their legacy? What they do ahead of time? Because now I'm curious. I'd love to know.
Dark Resurrect, thank you. Man, POTUS isn't that big, right? Seriously, how did I know Chris would have the worst take of all of them that I've heard today?
Because he's a fucking dumbass.
It was almost unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, you want to move on to something that sounds like an even dumber opinion?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, this might be the day for it, so why not? Opinion piece from Lisa Respers France. That's her name. Is a senior writer for CNN's digital entertainment team, and she says, "Breonna Taylor's death reminds me this country doesn't love me as much as I love it."
Real quick before we get into that, James is here, and James, it's your birthday, sir. Around here we do this. This one's for you, and 1 and 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
I hope you had a good one.
Happy birthday, dear
James Colley.
Wow.
To touch you inappropriately.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, James. I hope you had a good one. All right, Scribe, assault us with this one. Good God.
1 second here. Sorry, I got it. Checketh something on the thing and the stuff on the thing, because I got a text just now. Sorry. Apologies, guys. Nothing major, but okay. Back to the story. Some days I feel like a woman without a country.
Oh, God.
The death of Breonna Taylor has been yet another painful reminder that women like me, black women, are not safe in America. We can be killed in our own homes by police, and an officer will be charged over the bullets that missed, a charge that came only after months of calls for justice. Make no mistake, Breonna Taylor's death wrought destruction, and not just for the family and friends who knew and loved her. There has been a constant outcry in the 6 months since Taylor, a 26-year-old emergency room technician, was shot in her Louisville, Kentucky home while police were executing a search warrant. She is just one more black person whose life has been overshadowed in many ways by their death, and who, sadly, have become symbols of the racial inequality that has always been and feels like it may always be. She and her boyfriend were running a drug operation out of their apartment, and he shot at the cops first. I don't know.
Has it been confirmed that she was complicit in that, or was he just using her house? Because that was the one part that I couldn't identify as if she was directly involved or if she just happened to be dealing with the wrong person.
All the information that we have, according to the DA, was that she was involved in facilitating the business out of that apartment.
Gotcha.
Let's see. Such discouraging thoughts have become so familiar that I fear I am becoming numb to it. The hashtag say her name and hashtag justice for Breonna campaigns have kept Taylor's face ever before me on social media since her death. In that beautiful beautiful young woman's face, I have seen my sister, my niece, my friends, and myself. So you're projecting. Okay. I have wept for her and us, even as I have shed tears for a country where many are just now seeing its problems with systemic racism and racial injustice. The guy shot at the cops first. That was confirmed by forensics. It was admitted to by the shooter, and they fired back in self-defense. It didn't have anything to do with their race. He shot at them first, and they fired back.
Yep.
That's
and
what
she
happened.
was standing in a bad spot. There's a lot of people who think she was shot in bed. She wasn't. She was standing in the hallway, and that's why she ended up shot.
Yeah, her death was not intended. It was not meaningful in some way. She wasn't threatening the cop. She happened to be standing next to her boyfriend who was shooting at police.
Dude,
they identified themselves. Sorry?
I'm about to say every single person that I've talked to or that I've seen on Twitter, every single one that's talking about this is like, wow, she got killed while sleeping in her house and everybody's just okay with it. That's what the media has been saying. I've been seeing that on, it's definitive, not like a maybe or a possibility. 100% she was sleeping in her house and they just shot her. That's what people have been saying. So
yeah, well, just all you have to do, and it takes, you have to sit and listen to it for a while, but just listen to the presentation given by the district attorney, or the attorney general, sorry, on the day that the I guess technically the verdict was announced, or the decision was announced. He lays out all the facts in the case from point A to point Z, and it was by no means was her death not a tragedy, given the circumstances and how she was not threatening the cops. She just happened to be standing in the wrong place at exactly the wrong time. But the cops announced themselves. There's witness testimony not involved with the cops that says that they announced themselves. She was not in bed. The boyfriend fired first, actually hit the officer. Why that guy is not up on charges for attempted murder, I don't know. But this had nothing to do with them being targeted because of their race. I don't.
Let me get this real quick. Dangerous Spaces, thank you. When you had me on Monkey in the Morning, I said journos need colleagues who can push back against their stories. Chris's stupid take is because he has no pushback. And Dark Resurrect, thank you. Hate facts. You can't shoot back. It's illegal.
Let's see. You're going to super chat.
Oh, and thank you, Mike. Scribe Light, they didn't announce who they were. It was a no-knock warrant. There's their neighbors who said that they knocked and announced themselves.
Yes. It was not a no-knock warrant. It could have been, but it wasn't, and they announced themselves.
Pincalo, thank you. Watch the link in chat. It's a great breakdown. To your question, Scribe, why he's not charged, because it is easy to believe that they didn't hear that it was police when they woke up and fired because there were people in their house. That's still, at least he should have got, you'd think, something for shooting a cop in the leg, but with all of the other stuff, I think they just don't want to touch it because it's too toxic.
Probably so.
Yeah.
Let's see. Seeing his problems with systemic racism and racial injustice. Typing that word alone will stop many people reading, and to those who feel that way, it's hard to know. It is hard to know you are tired of my and Breonna Taylor's blackness. What?
She's saying it's hard for her to it's hard for me to know that you feel that way because it hurts me inside that you do.
Tired of hearing about it, thinking about it, and feeling guilty about the disparity that it brings. Imagine how tired we feel inhabiting these black bodies because we live in a nation where being accused of racism angers people more than the fact of actual racism. Yeah, falsely accusing someone of witchcraft and then holding them to account for witchcraft is somehow not as bad as actual witchcraft. A country where I am sure to be called a racist, accused of race baiting and or playing the race card for even daring to discuss our race problem. To that I say, white mothers, talk to me about how you prep your white children, your sons in particular, to try and handle interactions with police so they can make it home safely. All the while knowing that no matter what you tell them, there is no guarantee. White wives, have your white husbands taught themselves how to change rear light bulbs in their cars so they can avoid being stopped by police? Because my black husband has.
Wait. Dude, I've been pulled over for a light that was out, and yeah, I know how to change them. It's actually not that hard.
These are all constant traumas that black women like me, like Breonna Taylor, and so many other black women I could, unfortunately, name have had to endure. A few weeks ago, I posted to Facebook some thoughts about what is happening in America right now, how none of it is a surprise to me because I know the history.
You know why I hate questions like the ones she just presented? Because if they're like, here, white lady, tell me if you've experienced this, and she's like, I have. What do you think her response would be?
Well, not like I have.
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter. Yes, I experienced that. Can your husband do this? Yes, he has, and he's done this. He's also been pulled over for a light. And then she'll just be like, well, you still don't understand. It's like, well, why did you ask me those questions? Those were qualifying questions to prove that there's no way I can understand what you feel. I don't experience anything that you do, but I answered the questions in a way that wasn't convenient for you. So now we gotta shift to something else. You need another reason.
All right. I'm skipping to the bottom because obviously I don't care about her blackness. Knowing this country doesn't love me as much as I love it would seem reason enough to give up on it. But I won't let the deaths of Taylor, George Floyd, or the others who have sparked a racial reckoning in this great nation to have happened in vain. I love this country too much to not want to see it be the best that it can be. And you know what? Go for it. Do whatever you think you have to do to make the country better than it was when you found it. No problem at all. You're not going to get very far by classifying and vilifying people on the basis of race if your complaint is racism. I don't know what else to tell you, but you go ahead, do what you think you have to do.
Snubber, thank you. To me, drug dealers are a step near child diddlers, and given she aided it, it's not that much a tragedy to me. And Wabajack, thank you. Scribe, singing sounded deader than Shio's last date.
Is Shio Gorath a necrophiliac?
I'm guessing.
We learn something new every day.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, anything else to say about that one?
No.
All right. And let's since this is the Saturday before, well, I guess Monday would make more sense. But anyway, here's a story about the upcoming debates.
Yawn.
Trump. Okay, never mind then. Moving on.
No, I want to hear it.
No. Satsu doesn't care. It's fine.
Let him sleep.
No,
4 on stream.
Nope. Sorry, Satsu has control over this situation. I care about his blackness.
Satsu, no fucks.
Angry, thank you. Taylor is the exception. Maybe the rest of them did something to get the cops involved.
Yeah, the maybe part there. 4th grader suspended for having a BB gun in his bedroom during virtual learning.
Another one?
I don't know. Well, this is posted today, but maybe CNN's catching up to an old story. I don't know. Now, here's the kicker. The kid is black. Uh-oh. A 9-year-old Louisiana student was suspended after a teacher reported seeing a gun in the boy's bedroom during a virtual class. And then the super chat.
Thank you, Oki, who says, to be fair, Shio's last date didn't start out dead. Wow.
Well, that's a relief.
The attorney representing the child's family said it was a BB gun and the school went too far, applying its on-campus weapons policy without considering the privacy of the child and his family.
Yeah.
Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry announced Friday his office is investigating. Quote, I am alarmed by what appears to not only be multiple violations of both the state and federal constitutions, but also blatant government overreach by the school system, Landry said in a statement. For anyone to conclude that a student's home is now school property because of connectivity through video conferencing is absurd. It is ludicrous for this all-American kid to be punished for taking responsible actions, just as it is for his parents to be accused of neglect. His parents were accused of neglect. By who? The school district?
Got some uppity fucking teachers and school districts. These schools are fucking, man, look, and this type of shit used to happen all the time. Well, not obviously not this exact thing, but like these teachers with these fucking, I don't know, like maybe they're just done with their job. They're looking for something interesting to happen. They just want to fuck with somebody for the sake of fucking with somebody, but they got a real problem with overstepping and trying to exert their authority. And this type of shit makes me very upset when I hear about it.
Well, this is an example to me of the same kind of stuff I was talking about on the TEDx today and so many other shows where the teachers come out like they are the end-all be-all of control in a child's life.
Mm-hmm.
Parents don't matter. Their virtues, their ideology, and elsewise is all that is required to guide a child through life and shape them for the future. And the schools are like, oh, did you dial into the school? We own you now. Like, screw you.
Yeah.
How the incident happened. Oh, I can imagine how it happened. Kaimura Harrison, a fourth grader at Woodmere Elementary School in Jefferson Parish, was taking a test in his bedroom on September 11th after being sick and not participating in online school the day before. Family attorney Chelsea Cusimano told CNN on Friday. She said Kaimura had muted the volume on his computer so he could concentrate and had muted himself since it's required when students are not speaking. One of his siblings, who shares his room, stepped or tripped on a BB gun that Kaimura had received as a gift. Kaimura picked up the gun and was out of sight from the screen for a moment. He then placed the BB gun next to him in his chair, Cusimano said. Kaimura noticed his teacher was trying to get his attention in the virtual classroom. According to school documents Cusimano shared with CNN, as the teacher called Kaimura's name, quote, the student was disconnected from the screen due to internet issues, unquote. The school tried to reach the parents unsuccessfully and then called Kaimura's grandfather, the emergency contact, telling him the child had a gun during a virtual class, according to school documents. Go ahead.
Thank you, Jane. Since becoming a mandated reporter in California for my job, I wonder if these teachers think a G is a sign of an abusive home. That's dumb, though. A gun?
I think that, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably a gun, yeah.
I see. Yeah, because it's abuse to have a gun. School documents show the school recommended Kaimura's expulsion for, quote, possession of a starter gun, stun gun, and or facsimile, unquote, according to Jefferson Parish Public School Policy and Procedures. Yeah, if he's on school property.
School grounds, yeah.
At a hearing held September 22nd, it was determined Kaimura was guilty of displaying a facsimile weapon while receiving virtual education.
Oh my God.
That is retarded.
Cusimano, who told CNN she participated in the hearing, said a hearing officer determined it was a BB gun. The school amended the recommendation for expulsion to school suspension for 6 days. Oh, that's better. And social work assessment. Social work assessment. Kaimura returned to the online school on Thursday, September 24th. He had been out of school since the day of the incident. Cusimano told CNN that Jefferson Parish Schools, quote, took an on-campus weapons policy and unilaterally determined that they were going to apply it to one of their students in a manner as if he was on campus and not consider any measures such as the privacy of his own home, unquote. In a statement to CNN, Jefferson Parish Schools told CNN, quote, we do not comment on individual school records. Regarding discipline, it is our policy that teachers and administrators may employ reasonable disciplinary and corrective measures to maintain order, unquote.
What was that R word?
Reasonable.
Yeah, it's oh my God. How stupid. What a bunch of morons.
Yeah, that's asinine.
A parent accused of neglect. Good Lord. Okay, anyway, we've gone over time, and that's the stories I had.
Getting back to what was said in chat earlier about See No Evil, I believe is the person who said it, about them being willing to let her get not confirmed and to be okay with it. Brought up that she upheld Illinois' COVID mandates that are going on there.
Oh.
I haven't read that case. I need to look at it because guys, sometimes you might not like the decision, but it's still the legal decision that needs made.
Mhm.
And I haven't read it, and I'm doubting most of the people who have, because I've heard several people say that one. I'm doubting most of you have read it or the law confirmed. If you have, by all means, correct me. But I will be going and looking that one up. And the other one was she's for open borders, and that one just blew my mind because I've seen nothing to suggest that.
Open.
So
Really?
I would need some kind of evidence what we're talking about there.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of people who don't like her for immigration because she was one of the dissenting vote on the 7th Circuit on one of the rules of Trump's thing. She has voted to send illegals home. I'm not sure where that comes from, so I can't comment further. I'm willing to learn, though. Snub, thank you so much. As an Illinoisan, governor was going to do it regardless. Like here in Michigan, they sued because of the governor's handling and overreach. But the problem is she didn't overreach. The law is so goddamn vague.
Yeah.
That it's literally impossible to overreach it. So anyway, that brings us on to MSS News. Guys, if there's a story you'd like to take a look at, hit us up at the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can't get to them all. It's because I don't want to.
Oh.
That's not true. I wish I could get to them all, but I don't want to. First one comes from senior staff reporter and chief Florida correspondent Colleen Bernier.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait, this is the story we did yesterday. I'm sorry, Colleen. It's the Vietnam condom story from yesterday.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Condom.
It's a good story, but yeah. we got that one. So next up is Frosted Glass with Why Do People Riot?
Oh, boy. You know what? That immediately triggered me. That immediately triggered me, and it triggered me because I already got the feeling in my gut that this person is one of those people that is saying that the peaceful protesters haven't been rioting, that it's cops and infiltrators who's been doing it. We haven't been doing that. But here, let me explain to you why it's really good, and why if you see somebody doing it, you should be okay with it. But it's not us. But if you see it, it's good. It's not bad. It's not us. It's them. That shit makes me so mad. I fucking hate it. But continue. We'll see. See if I'm right.
I'm going to skip the first part of it. It looks like it's because of the riots we saw. Thank you, Professor Chaos. All of the 7th Circuit did in the Illinois case was deny a temporary restraining order at the beginning of the case. It's still pending. Let's say I haven't read it. I appreciate you telling me that, but I'm going to have to go read it. I'll check it out. I will. Why do people riot? First, riots must be distinguished from other forms of protest. Riots are not simply, quote, marches plus destruction of property. Rather, they assume a completely different political character than forms of protest like marches, boycotts, or sit-ins. Unlike the latter, riots are deliberately irreconcilable with the apparatus of capture and control commonly conveyed by the liberal democratic state.
Whoa.
All right. Riots, in other words, refuse to be recognized by any entity which might serve to co-opt them as spokesperson or mediator. This includes not only politicians, but not-for-profit organizations and purported community leaders.
Well,
yeah. Wow. Okay. With this in mind, it becomes clear why people are led to riot, namely because they feel as if other less violent means of doing politics are inadequate to the ends they see. Okay, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, is this going somewhere unexpected? No, Ryan Johnson. No.
It was making too much sense. Yeah. And we've heard this line of thought before. Like, we have to riot because they won't listen to anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
We have to do it. They won't listen to us, but we're not, though. But we do have to. We're not doing it though. It's not us. It's white supremacist infiltrators. But we got to do it, guys. It's necessary, so they'll listen to us. But it's not us.
Yeah, but doesn't that okay? And am I completely off base by saying, well, we can't get what we want politically by any other means, so let's move to violence? Doesn't that immediately become terrorism?
Terrorism, yeah.
Or fascism, maybe.
No, this would be terrorism because it's not a government thing. Yeah.
No, not fascism. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's not a form of government. It's action taken to get to invoke political change through violence. Yep. So this person is just like, and I know it doesn't need to be said, but just for the sake of things, they've just clarified that, and you get to a point where you've decided you can't get done what you want done politically through peaceful or procedural means, violence is justified.
Riots are the results of precisely this paradox. They are the form of communication for those who have no choice but to refuse to be.
It's not a paradox. It's a choice. There's no choice. It is a choice. It's not a paradox. What the fuck?
Those who have no choice but to refuse to be heard. Do you mean refuse not to be heard?
Never mind.
I refuse to be heard, damn it.
That's right. You will unhear us now, or we're going to burn down your fucking...
I'm not reading this shit. Sorry, Frosted. I got what I needed to know in that first little bit there, so.
Are you really sorry? Because I'm not.
I am, because I was hoping with the first part of it because they were right.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
a very big difference between a riot and all of that other shit. And we've been saying that for at least 100 days now.
Yeah, you know what though? Every time I hear something that sounds reasonable, when the title tells me something different, and then they start sounding reasonable, my first instinct now, unfortunately, this is how cynical I become. I say to myself, "I'm being Trojan horsed. I am being Trojan horsed, and inevitably, I'm proven right." You know.
This one comes to us from Chicago Mike. Florida governor proposes law that could allow drivers to run over a mob.
Okay.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Monday introduced legislation that could remove legal repercussions from those fleeing from a mob by using their cars to run over protesters at demonstrations.
Is monkey roboting for you, Satsu?
Yeah, you
I probably am. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay, it's not incomprehensible, but it's getting on the edge of it to me.
Hang on. There's ads all over this. See if I can get any of them to stop.
All right.
Like siphoning your internet. Now, Scribe, from what you did hear of that, did you catch the way they worded it?
Which part? What are you talking
They were saying it will protect them from getting away from mobs by using their car to run over protesters.
Well, I guess. I guess you'd have to be able to prove or articulate that there was a threat to you and your only means of escape was forward, even if there were people surrounding you, something like that.
But why are they mobs when they're attacking your vehicle, but as soon as they get hit by your car, they're protesters now?
Sorry about that, guys. It's Newsweek, and there's a ton of ads on there. My internet is spotty at best tonight anyway. From what I could read of it, it's if you're getting mobbed, they're actually attacking your car, then you would be able to hit the gas and go forward.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with that because the other choice is literally possibly them pulling you out of your car and beating you.
Yes.
Which we've seen.
Yep.
Get the absolute fuck out of the road.
Stay out of the fucking street, man. It's very simple. We learned it at like fucking 5.
Yeah.
I read somewhere that I think it was either in Oregon or Washington or something. One of those incidents where people were protesting out in the middle of the freeway, and they got hit by a car. They're suing the highway patrol for not protecting them.
Oh! I wonder if that's the Seattle case.
Maybe it is. It was said somewhere in that area, and I saw that, and I was like, they're suing the highway patrol and the police department or something for not protecting them during their protest. I'm like, you were dancing out in the middle of the freeway.
You know what? if they win, dude, I might have to take one for the team. Buy a car. Try to get me some money too.
Go out there with a sign.
Have you guys seen those videos of people like over in I think it's in China, I believe it happens a lot, where like to get these crazy insurance policies or whatever, people like they'll walk in front of a car and then lay across the top of it and then like pull off and shit.
Yeah, there's all this dash cam footage of people trying to pull off cars collision scams and things in different countries, and it's hilarious because thank goodness they had their cameras on there, because it shows them like casually walking up and throwing themselves in front of the car onto the road.
Yeah, it's so, man, it's so blatant, like so absolutely not even like I'm not even gonna try to make this look convincing at all. Oh geez.
All right, let's move along. Next up, this is a New York Post article from Massive Dynamic. It says Trump was right about ginned up Russia probe FBI text messages show. Okay.
But Trump can't be right about anything, so
whatever he was right about.
Trump was right about an FBI. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Am I breaking up? Okay.
Not breaking up yet.
A little bit, but nothing crazy.
Trump was right. An FBI employee declared shortly after then President-elect suggested that officials delayed a White House transition briefing on Russia meddling in the 2016 election because they needed time, quote, to build the case. The bombshell admission is contained in a text message exchange that took place on January 5th, 2017, and was among several that lawyers for former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn said were turned over to them late Thursday night. Oh my. The amount of stuff that's coming out in the information that has to be turned over to Michael Flynn, it might be okay to just keep his case dragging on. Because we're finding out a whole lot of shit they shouldn't have been doing from this, rather than the Mueller investigation, the congressional investigations, the Justice Department investigations.
And oddly enough, every single bit of information we found out about the latter, whether it was relevant or actually meant something or not, was like the bombshell, the smoking gun. But all this stuff, it's conspiracy theories. It's like, it's like, oh, well, we heard this thing, but the far right is pushing this idea that it's like, no, it was a thing that was found out.
During the conversation on the FBI's link messaging system, unidentified employees discussed a briefing that day of then President Barack Obama, according to Friday's court filing. What's the word on how O's briefing went? One FBI worker asked. Don't know, but people here are scrambling for info to support certain things, and it's a madhouse, another wrote. The next message was a one-word response, Jesus, followed by an apparent reference to a Trump tweet from a few days earlier. Quote, Trump was right, still not put together. Why do we do this to ourselves? What is wrong with these people? An FBI employee wrote. In this January 3rd tweet, Trump wrote, the intelligence briefing on so-called Russian hacking was delayed until Friday. Perhaps more time needed to build a case. Very strange.
Huh.
The identities of the FBI employees involved in the conversation are blacked out in the District of Columbia federal court filing, and it's not clear how many took part or what their roles are at the Bureau. But 5 days later, court papers say the same employees had another text message exchange in which one revealed how, quote, we all went and purchased professional liability insurance, end quote. All the other analysts too, another asked. Yup, was the reply. A subsequent message added, all the folks at the agency as well. Oh, wow. I mean, it's kind of vague, but it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. I don't know that there's much else to add to that. Gentlemen, anything to say to it?
No.
Yeah, I don't really know what to really say about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be keeping an eye on what else comes out about it. But good God, the FBI, man, does this all that's gone on shake your faith in them at all?
What faith?
Yeah, I was about to say,
enough.
it's like, I don't know that I really had much in when it comes to politics over the last several years. I don't have much faith in the FBI.
Well, that's my problem. And going back before this, I mean, you heard about the FBI being politicized back in the 60s, but that was supposed to have been cleaned up and not a thing anymore. And maybe I was just naive in thinking, yeah, they weren't doing the same old shit. All right. Next up is Dragon Mage. This one comes to us from Sky News. Get this shit off my screen. There we go. Coronavirus. London anti-lockdown protests see 16 arrests as police left in hospital after clashes. Oh, good God. Police say there was no effort by organizers to engage with the crowds and keep those assembling safe from transmitting the virus. At least 9 police officers and 3 demonstrators have been injured during clashes at an anti-lockdown protest in London's, I can never say that, Trafalgar Square. Is that how you say that?
Trafalgar, yeah.
Trafalgar Square?
I think so.
Which saw 16 people arrested. 2 of the officers injured needed hospital treatment, the Metropolitan Police said. The force said the arrests were for offenses including breaching coronavirus regulations, assaulting a police officer, public order offenses, and violent disorder. Dozens of police wore riot helmets as they penned in demonstrators and conspiracy theorists trying to shut down the We Do Not Consent rally. Silence is consent, remember, guys. The crowd of thousands threw bottles at officers and chanted, "Pick your side," while police used batons against them and left some with visible injuries. Look, I don't support rioting on the other side either. This is fucking stupid. Even if you don't think you should have to wear a mask or be locked down, fine. Don't turn violent. As soon as you do that, you lose me. Sorry, period.
Yep. Conspiracy theorists.
They're out there attacking police. What do you expect to happen?
Well, you expect the police to do nothing about it. Considering that's kind of been the reaction for the latter.
Can't read that one because it's from the Mirror, and as bad as my internet is, I know that'll fuck me up. So let's do this one. Oh, thank you, Chicago Mike. Ranting Monkey, you and I were thinking about the FBI being corrupt during the J. Edgar Hoover days, especially when he was wearing a dress. They had some problems back then, a lot of really bad problems, and the stuff that's come out about that era is disturbing. But again, that was supposed to be all cleaned up, so yeah, fool me once, I guess. Fool me twice, that's on me. This one came from Jack and the original Shroom. Atlanta activists spent $200,000 in Black Lives Matter donation on house personal expenses, according to the FBI.
Who did?
An Atlanta activist.
Oh.
The FBI has arrested the founder of a Black Lives Matter group in Atlanta on fraud and money laundering charges. Wait, that dude looks white as fuck.
Is that surprising to you, Monkey?
I mean, all right.
It shouldn't be if it is.
Sir Major Page, 32, was accused Friday of misappropriating $200,000 in donations he solicited through Facebook on behalf of Black Lives Matter of Greater Atlanta, Fox 5 Atlanta reported Friday. Page was arrested in Toledo and released on bond after appearing before a judge via video. He did not immediately return messages Saturday from Fox News.
Sir
Really?
Page, huh?
Okay, that's a white dude. All right, I'm throwing this into chat so somebody can scroll down and be like, yeah, that's a white dude. Anyway, The Toledo FBI office opened an investigation last year after a cooperating witness submitted a fraud complaint against Page, whose real name is Tyree Conyers Page. FBI agent Matthew DeSorbo said in the complaint. Page founded Black Lives Matter Greater Atlanta in 2016, and this year took in more than $466,000 in donations in June, July, and August.
Wow.
Black albino, is that what? Okay, he looked like a honky to me. I'm just saying.
Yeah, he does look kind of albino. I know. The fucking DNC's like, dude, that was our fucking money,
right? In sum, Page has spent over $200,000 on personal items generated from donations received from the BLMGA Facebook page, with no identifiable purchase or expenditure for social or racial justice. Then why the fuck isn't Sean King under investigation? They can literally find nothing that money was spent on.
Yep.
Sean King himself can't do it. All right, so anybody shocked by the honky Black Lives Matter guy not using funds properly?
I am shook.
Guys, that's going to wrap up MSS News tonight. Satsu, what you did on the YouTubes?
I recorded a video, and I almost finished editing another video, which I should probably finish editing tomorrow. And we did some Raft last night and had some fun playing that. Also did a medieval stream earlier today, and got me some. I built a, what is it, the resource hut or whatever by the cave, so I can get me some iron now, because we're moving away from stone tools and moving into the Iron Age, which I'm sure is going to make a dramatic difference. We'll see. But yeah, that's what I did today.
All right, and Scribbles?
I did a tech excellence on authentic learning.
Oh.
Now, what is authentic learning as compared to normal learning? I don't know, but I spent 14 some odd minutes trying to find out. You had a teacher who told us about the benefits of authentic learning, positioned herself, as I described before, as the end-all be-all of the formative years of a student's life from 7, 8, and 9 years of age, you know, when all of the decisions that will forever determine your lifetime are established.
Wow.
And how she didn't do... It was difficult to understand, but she basically said that every year she has her class, instead of actually doing classroom work, they create an opera company. And they create an opera, the whole 9 yards of writing it and directing it and scripting it and singing it and doing the stage direction and all this other stuff without any real interference from the teacher, so they can learn these skills on their own. Like, what are you part of some kind of like hippie independent school or something? What is this? It was very bizarre. And she never told us exactly what it is that she does, where she works, how this is supposed to operate, why you would do this at 7, 8, and 9 when you should be teaching kids how to, you know, comprehension and arithmetic and basic geography and things like that. Apparently all that is just too old school for her. I don't know.
At 7, 8, and 9, they're supposed to... You said with no input from her? How do they decide who does the writing and the stage building? And
I don't know. There are several points at which she talked about what she did in her classroom, or I should say didn't do. And I asked, how are you drawing a paycheck? You get paid for this? What? Again, you know, it's really frustrating because I much more appreciate a speaker who gives me at least a complete picture of what they're talking about, even if it's absolute nonsense, than one that gives me not enough details to know what I'm to make of what they're saying, and it's also absolute nonsense. she didn't define her terms. She didn't tell us how this is supposed to. I mean, and again, she talked about herself and her role as being the end all be all to a child's development for the future. And I'm like, lady, you occupy a few hours out of a kid's day for maybe 1 year of their life before they move on to the next grade. You are not their parents. You are not the shining light in the wholeness of their life. You're there to teach the kids how to think about things, not what to think, and not to let them run loose on making an opera company, which makes no sense. It was like she kept imparting her own sense of value onto what her kids were quote unquote thinking or what they should be doing. You could just see by watching her talk that everything that her kids were going through is something she was projecting onto them to then justify how she was teaching them, quote unquote. It was both creepy and frustrating at the same time. So that was that. Tomorrow I'm going to take the day off from streaming in total because I have a busy week next week. So Monday I'm doing another duo TED Excellence with Kurt Metzger. Tuesday is going to be debate night. So that's going to be exciting. We're going to start a half hour earlier for Lords of the Night guys than usual for a pregame show. So at 5:30 Pacific, 8:30 Eastern, we'll be starting the show so everybody get oriented and we can chat a bit before the debates start. Wednesday, can't say for certain yet. My fingers are crossed that I'll be doing another duo TEDx with a friend of mine who most of you know, but I don't want to tell stories out of school till I got confirmation. Thursday, I'm hoping Satsu and I can do part 2 of the raising children in an unjust racial America that we did last week. And Satsu, when I talked to my sister today, she said that she caught the last 20 minutes or so of our stream, and she was just absolutely floored by some of the things that lady was saying about. And it's just like, what is? She obviously she doesn't have kids because I'll never be an uncle. But anyway,
an uncle.
I know. I'm kidding, but all the same. But anyway, she's looking for the next one, which I was very happy about. My sister is like, all of a sudden, she never paid attention to anything on my YouTube channel. But then suddenly Kurt Metzger comes along and now she's paying attention. I see how it is. But anyway.
Let me get this. Johnny Hellcat, thank you. The most depressing 3rd grade class ever.
Yeah. And even my mom was listening last night to Lords of the Night. We talked to her today after my sister and I got breakfast, and she says, "Yeah, I listened to some of your stream last night, right at the beginning." I was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Yeah, it sounded really good." Like, "Thanks, Mom."
I wasn't talking about my wiener, was I?
I don't know. I mean, we always talk about your wiener at least for a couple seconds every night.
Well, my daughter who started texting me talking about Monkey in the Mornings because apparently she's been listening to them. I'm like, fuck, what did I say? So
yeah, that's all the YouTube stuff I have.
Let's see. I did a Monkey in the Morning, and I wasn't going to do a game stream, but one came up anyway for reasons I'm not discussing. Played some Medieval Dynasty, had a lot of fun with it again. Much shorter stream because I just couldn't do a really long one. Still having a lot of fun with that game. There's things creeping up that I can see the end near. Not like super near, but certainly not the longevity of something like 7 days. Just until they get more of the game built and fixed. Mm-hmm. Not quite as short as Raft was when we played it or Grounded was when we played it, but certainly it being in early access and without them having more end game kind of things in mind, I can definitely see it. But until then, I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
Yeah, I was actually kind of feeling the same way. The problem is, though, the gameplay loop on its own, without all the in-game concerns or whatever, just the real tediousness of it, is actually kind of relaxing for me. So I'm like, this is my new chill game. Like, this is the game I play to calm myself when all the fuckery is going on, because like it's farming. It's like outdoors farm life, the game, and it can be kind of boring, but it helps me like clear my mind. So I'll probably still be playing this shit even when there's nothing else to do.
I was just goofing off the other day, and I spent an entire season just hunting.
Yep.
On a game that I knew I wasn't going to save because I haven't been saving any offline stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll just go through, and I was actually planning to make this was on the old game, season 1, where it's like, okay, I need to find where I'm going to live, plan out some things on how I'm going to do this. Yeah, I just got lost hunting.
Yeah.
Like, So again, I still really, really recommend it. It's a lot of fun, but I can see an end time coming. But with that, speaking of the end times, it's humpetry time. And Satsu, do you have any humpetry today?
Maybe. Yes, I do. So I saw a very encouraging post today. Actually, there was a couple encouraging posts that came out today of people that I know who have been kind of waving the Black Lives Matter flag very consistently. And now they're literally coming out actively on their Facebook and saying, like, you know what? I'll never not believe that Black Lives Matter. Like, that is something I hold dear to me. That's what I believe, and I'm going to fight for that concept. But BLM, I don't trust them motherfuckers. And I'm like, somebody's been doing research. And then below that, I was like, oh, this thing has like 15 comments. I'm like, oh shit, he probably got crucified. I read up under it. Every single comment was like, yeah, I know what you mean. I'm like, oh, people are catching on. Did you go to the website? Did you check out their mission statement? Did you listen to the things that they say and pay attention to the organizers and how they're living versus all the people who are going out there rioting? Like, you're looking at the bigger picture now, I see, because they ain't hiding it.
Not even a little bit. Real quick.
At all. It is all there and available for you to see, but people have been actively either just ignoring it or just not worrying about it, treating it as if it's something not to be worried about. But I'm just like, man, look. So it's actually kind of encouraging, because even people who I've talked to specifically about it before, who I've had conversations with about, BLM and why you just should report it out of, you should support it out of principle, who are now saying, like, look, there's Black Lives Matter, the organization, and then there's Black Lives Matter, the support. I don't fuck with the organization. I'm like, me neither. We're finally on the same page, because
hang on real quick, I gotta get this. Dark Resurrect, thank you. See, my calm down game is RuneScape. God, I feel old saying that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They have successfully convinced people because of the naming of it, and we've talked about this before, the way that they name things. They named it in such a way that no matter what, if you have any type of criticism towards it, the only thing it could mean, based on the way they created it, is you just have a problem with Black people. It's called Black Lives Matter. Like, you can't have a problem with that, because it supports the thing you believe. Do you believe Black Lives Matter? It's like, yeah, then you have to support us, as they fucking do everything they can to thwart Black people. So I'm just like, yeah, don't get caught up in the naming. Like, it's an ideal. It's an idea that anybody can hold. It doesn't matter who it is. There are conservatives out there, I'm sure, if you ask straight up, hey, do you think that Black Lives Matter? They'll be like, yeah, I do. I think that everybody's lives matter. And even if you specify, they'll be like, yeah, I believe that the lives of Black people matter. I just don't support BLM. And that's fine. That is perfectly fine. It is okay to do. You can still believe that, because truth be told, there are Black Lives Matter activists who don't believe that Black Lives Matter. They're wearing the t-shirt, but they don't believe that Black Lives Matter. So it is what it is. It's very interesting to see that finally. So we'll see how that develops over time. Their cash flow is about to slow down, and things are going to get very interesting when that happens. What else did I see today? There was an article that came out about Minneapolis, how the pledge to dismantle the Minneapolis police collapsed.
Mm-hmm.
And that article is very, very interesting. And all the people who made that pledge, they're fucking cowards. They are, because they knew exactly what the fuck they were doing. They knew what they were saying when they made that pledge. But if you go in and read this article, every fucking word, every quote that they have from these people are like, well, I think people just misunderstood what we were saying, or they're coming up with some excuse as to like, well, we supported it, but we didn't think that people may have took it that literal, or we think that some people have taken the narrative and pushed it to a place that's unrecognizable for us right now. And I'm like, fuck all the way off. Don't give me that fucking bullshit. You knew exactly what you were pushing, and you supported it because you felt like you had to, because you'd be crucified if you didn't. And everybody with half a brain knew that shit was not going to go through. You just knew it wasn't. It didn't make any sense. The concept itself was flawed at its introduction. So stop with the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
That shit pissed me off. I'm like, you motherfuckers playing dumb. Y'all might as well just came on and say, yeah, we got you motherfuckers. We wasn't really going to do that. Like that would have been more respectable than the fucking, well, we didn't know that people were going to take it so literal. It's like, then why the fuck did you call it that? Fucking dumbasses.
Yeah. Restructure the police would have been just as fine and would have actually made the point they're now claiming they always were making.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And the last thing we'll talk about is the repeated line that I keep seeing on Twitter: all the horrors happening right now in America is happening in Trump's America. Don't let them fool you and make you think that this is Biden's. And on its face, if you just listen to it without the context, you're like, well, yeah, that does make sense. This is now currently Trump's America. But if you open your eyes and look physically at the individual who's saying that to you, you will observe that this person has a can of gas in their hand. They're pouring it on the ground, and they're getting ready to strike a match and saying, you see this stuff happening in Trump's America? This is bad. This is his America. This is happening here. It's happening right now. And it's bad. He's making this happen. And then they throw the match into the fucking trash can and light it on fire, and it blows up the building next to him. And they're like, that was him. He just did that. This is what we're trying to tell you guys. He's doing this to you, and we need to stop him. Here, hand me that match. And I'm just like, it is so hilarious to watch this take place. Like, the fact that this narrative is being pushed by people who are literally orchestrating all the violence and stuff that's going on, it's actually kind of hilarious if it wasn't sad. It's just pretty funny to watch that all take place. But that is my fucketry for the day.
All right. And Scribbles, you got any humpetry today?
Sort of tangent to what Satsu was talking about. The New York Times posted this. A majority of the Minneapolis City Council pledged to defund the city's police department and, quote, end policing as we know it after George Floyd's killing. Now some council members would like a do-over. And I said, the city council wants a do-over from an entirely foreseeable result of their short-sighted stupidity. I think the constituents deserve a do-over by recalling and replacing everyone who put mob placation ahead of reason.
Yep.
Let's see. Then there was this from...
Hang on. Let me get this in between here. Celtic Ronin, thank you. Satsu, I wish I could get you to talk to some of the people I work with. They're convinced black people, not men, are being actively hunted by LEO?
Law enforcement officers.
Oh, thank you. Law enforcement officers. Thank you for the donation. Okay, Scribbles, your next one you said?
So, Dr. Ibram X. Kendi responded to this tweet today from I don't know who Jenny Beth Martin is, but she said, with 2 adopted children from Haiti, it's going to be interesting to watch the Democrats try to smear Amy Coney Barrett as racist. And this was Ibram X. Kendi's reaction in 2 different tweets. Some white colonizers adopted black children. They civilized, quote unquote, these quote unquote savage children in the quote unquote superior ways of white people, while using them as props in their lifelong pictures of denial, while cutting the biological parents of these children out of the picture of humanity. And whether, and in regards to the picture associated with the tweet the lady put out, and whether this is Barrett or not is not the point. It is a belief too many white people have. If they have or adopt a child of color, then they can't be racist. And I said, peace, love, and understanding, hashtag anti-racism. Ibram X. Kendi is a racist, opportunist grifter.
Yep.
Nothing more, nothing less. He's attempting, apparently very successfully as far as Jack Dorsey is concerned, with the $10 million grant he gave him, to normalize the idea of racism as a constant so that his own racism does not come across as actually a character flaw, which is, it's a brilliant strategy that seems to be working because he's selling that book like hotcakes. People are donating tons and tons of money to him. And if you actually listen to him in that TEDx talk or whatever that I did a little video on, he lays it out very plain. Just direct questions about exactly what does he mean when he uses these terms. They don't stand up to simple scrutiny at all. And yet he is making boatloads of cash off of just the notion of what he's saying without anybody actually taking the time to look at the substance. It's sad, it's amazing, it's all sorts of things, but it's not good.
L Wolf over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much, who says generic message. I appreciate that.
And other than that, I guess the only other thing was this news story that came out from The Hill just before the stream, or at least I saw it just before the stream started. 2 judiciary Democrats will not meet with Trump's Supreme Court pick. I refuse to treat this process as legitimate. It was Hirono and Blumenthal. They won't even bother meeting with the lady.
Yeah.
Because it's illegitimate. And how is it not legitimate? Damned if I know, but...
Because they said so.
Yeah. So
Anyway,
that's all I got.
All right. Most of mine is related to Barrett. Sorry, I was enjoying it today. The salt was tasty. Just tasty. And first up, the Handmaid's Tale.
Oh.
It was supposedly written based on a group called the People of Something. I forget what the something is. Amy Coney Barrett is part of a group called People of Praise. Now, they're different groups, but people mixed them up and started spreading the rumor that Handmaid's Tale was written based on this group that she's a part of.
Okay.
And Dana Lash tweeted out, amazing how Twitter allows all of the published lies from news sources to remain up while swiftly acting on memes. Because it was actually at the top of the trending page before the actual announcement today that Handmaid's Tale was based on the group that Amy was in, which is a verifiable lie. But Twitter never took it down. In fact, we know they curate that list, so they were happy to have it at the top. It's almost like they have an agenda.
almost.
Sin Nikki says Kagan is trending. We'll get to that. We'll get to why Kagan's trending in a little bit. This is just one I agree with. Lisa Britton, I follow her over there. She's a TradCon woman. Sometimes she goes a little too traditional woman for me. But I agree with her on a lot of the feminist stuff, including this one. Radical feminists don't want more women in power. They want more biased, bitter, vengeful women like them in power. Like, yeah, you're right. And we're seeing that today because there is no women's power thing going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Not a single thing out there on Twitter from the lefties about how great it is that Donald Trump replaced a woman with a woman instead of putting a man there.
Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, her qualifications matter now. Ooh, who the fuck knew?
Cory Booker, right after the announcement, tweeted out, Donald Trump's nominee That's way too manly for him. Donald Trump's nominee is a direct threat to the Affordable Care Act, reproductive choice, and so many other liberties we hold sacred. Sacred. We can't be silent as he tries to rush a Senate court or Supreme Court justice through the Senate. The American people deserve to have their voices heard. Kamala Harris tweeted out, Trump's handpicked successor to Justice Ginsburg's seat makes it clear they intend to destroy the Affordable Care Act and overturn Roe. This selection would move the court further right for a generation and harm millions of Americans. I strongly oppose Judge Barrett's nomination. They haven't even talked to the woman yet.
Yeah.
Hyperbolic bullshit coming from all of them, which I expected, and I got to be honest, I enjoy. Snubber, thank you. To be fair, I think women's rights has been absorbed into trans politics, given how woman is now no longer bound by biology. Fair, but I mean, we still saw all the nonsense about how Kamala was the first woman of color put on the ticket, and woman was a big part of it because, remember, of color was not the determining factor. It was woman.
Mm-hmm.
Woman was the only qualification that Joe said he was absolutely going to hold to. And it was a wonderful thing. We're denting that glass ceiling again. But I did like that from Kamala's thing. Trump's handpicked successor to Justice Ginsburg. Handpicked. How do you think every fucking justice has been picked?
By foot, most likely.
Or if it was Biden, it'd be by nose.
Nice. He has all the people he's thinking about stand in a circle around him. He covers his eyes, points out his finger, and he spins until he stops. And whoever's he pointing at, that's the new one. Fucking idiots.
That could be a legitimate way of doing it if the president chose to.
It would be.
There's nothing under law that says you couldn't do it that way.
But it's not how they do it.
I know.
Pincalo, thank you. These psychos are attacking her for having adopted kids. They really are. They're attacking her for everything. It's insane. They want people to look into how she's dealing with her children. Like, do you have even the slightest hint of any actual abuse, or are you just saying this because she's a Republican and she has kids?
Well, I don't know, Monkey. Was one of the kids caught on school camera with a BB gun? That's
not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that's neglect. That's neglect.
This one just made me laugh. It's a Babylon Bee article. It says, sad. Antifa rioter excitedly runs out to burn down neighborhood only to realize he'd already burned it down in the last riot. They're running out of neighborhoods to burn down. That one I'm reading later. This one, okay, so Adam Schiff tweeted out. There were several of those idiots. Schiff did it. Schumer did it. Of course, we read Booker's earlier. He tweeted, this isn't about Republican hypocrisy, though there's a lot. This isn't about the nominee, though she's extreme. This is about power and the Republicans repealing health care, overturning Wade, and stymieing progress for generations. Vote like your lives depend on it because they do. Real quick, Celtic, thank you. They're just ass mad that Trump did what he always does. Finds a qualified individual for the job that doesn't agree with them. It drives them insane.
Well, every time that there is a justice nomination, whether it's on the right or the left, I hear how Roe is going to be destroyed, women's rights are going down, voting rights are going to be destroyed, or all of your guns are going to be taken away, yada, yada, yada. Drugs will run rampant in the streets and the borders will be opened up. None of these things come to pass. None of them have. Alito gets up there. The world did not fall apart. Roberts gets up there. The world didn't fall apart. Sonia Sotomayor gets up there. The world didn't fall apart. Every single time. Nothing. Jesus.
Shrouded Angel, thank you. Has she sexually assaulted anyone yet?
It'll happen at some point. It is really hilarious though, because at this point, since we're being petty as fuck, like it would be hilarious, although embarrassing as an American, if all these things like the Roe v. Wade stuff, they're just like they just woke up every other month or so and was like, we might just do it, and everybody just loses their shit. They're like, we're not gonna do it now. We're gonna wait. And it's just like, they keep taunting us with it. They're like, today might be the day. No, we're not gonna do it. That just to watch them lose their fucking every other day.
The amazing part about this to me is that I've seen so many of these Democrats come out and say this exact same thing. Roe's going to be under attack. Healthcare is going to be under attack. Okay. By all accounts, she's an originalist. She's going to go by the text of the Constitution. So what you're telling me is that those things aren't constitutional if you can't fit them into the text.
Right.
In which case, she would be doing her fucking job to tell you no.
Mm-hmm.
But I basically said that to Adam. Adam doesn't write me back. But one of his fans did. And they said this: she will not. She will rule according to personal beliefs as most of the court. We don't have an unbiased court. It's not right to tip it further in one direction, knowing their personal views will impact her decision. Her own words. The views of what she's reading. We've talked about this. Even the most hardline judge isn't as hardline once they get up there, whether it's right or left.
Yep.
Thank you again, Celtic. I still identify as a classic liberal, but if Roe gets overturned, these morons have only themselves to blame. Hashtag shout your abortion, anyone? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Remember when it was supposed to be, what was it? Safe and legal and rare. That was under the Clinton administration. That's what they were pushing for. And they did. They cut abortions by like half, which is great. But they're turning it around the other way. Like, it's an achievement now.
Yeah. How many you got under your belt?
Yeah. How many you got up in your snatch?
I'm on my fifth, girl.
Oh God.
Anyway, when I read this woman's thing about it, it's their personal opinions. Even when I disagree with the court, and I do with the liberal side of the court very often. Most of the time, the vast majority of the time, they're still pointing to other cases. I just disagree with how they see those cases.
Mm-hmm.
It's not Kagan up there going, well, I'm a liberal, so it should be this way.
Right.
They're still pointing to cases and going, this is how I see it. It's not, I believe in abortion, so it should be abortion, the end. They have to go by case law. They have to go by the Constitution. They have to go by what's passed by Congress. That's what they look at. So I asked this person, how many cases have you actually read? Because I don't believe you can sit there and think that these 9 people, whatever you think of their ultimate decisions, but that they're up there just being personally biased. No, they're actually going by case law. And there's several recently where the liberals on the court who've been losing lately, they disagree with the majority, and it's in the reading of other fucking cases. It's not, I'm liberal, so this is how it should be. So I don't believe for a goddamn second that this woman has read a fucking thing any of these people have ever wrote.
Right. And it's not like when they're in this seat, they have anybody they need to impress, to show, or to like show up for, or make decisions to try to stay in their position. No, they're in there for life. All that shit is over with. All you got to do is do your job.
Dark Resurrect, thank you. But Monk, remember, Constitution bad, right? And look, I'm not saying it never happens. That it's not like they stretched way hard and you could see where they were trying to go with it. But they still have to go by the law. Terry, thank you. Just make abortion mandatory. The problem will be gone in a single generation. we're getting close to question time. I want to get to that other one. This is one of the reasons Kagan was trending today. This woman says, anyway, for all the talk about who is this? This is Sarah Jones, who is a staff writer at The Intelligencer and New York Magazine, and a member of the New York Guild. Anyway, for all the talk about how experienced / accomplished Amy Coney Barrett is, let us remember she has a grand total of 3 years experience on the bench. You know how much experience on the bench Kagan had when she got her appointment?
How much?
None.
What?
Yeah. None. She had never been a fucking judge before.
The devil, you say?
I know, right? I can skip that one for now. I do want to talk about this just briefly. I said this on Twitter, and I'm going to say it again. Any idiot out there right now talking about how this process is illegitimate is quite literally calling our Constitution illegitimate.
Which is they're completely free to do, I guess. It's just they're just wrong about the rule of law, but whatever.
When you have senators out there telling you that the Constitution is illegitimate,
yeah,
that should worry you about your senators.
Yes, they are trying to destroy our democracy. By the way, the Constitution is illegitimate.
Right.
The person not trying to destroy our democracy.
Again, you want to go after them for being hypocrites, I'm with you, because they were. They absolutely are. But what's happening? Donald Trump is president until the end of this term or the end of next term. It doesn't stop because there's an election coming up. Everything happening right now is legitimate. Sorry. You don't have to like it, but it is. And okay, I'll finish with this one. This is Chris Jackson, who used to be former Democratic Party chair. Conservatives calling this woman ACB makes me sick.
Oh,
she will never be RBG.
Oh, God. What a child.
They use 3 letters, too. How dare they?
Throwing a fit because people are using her initials.
Good Lord.
And his bitch ass thought it was smart to put this out into the public.
Oh.
Celtic, thank you one more time. Tune in late. Did we opine on the platinum plan yet? Always watched. Finally had a bit of cash to burn hearing a trio of sexy voices answer questions.
Oh.
Thank you so much. And I don't even know what the platinum plan is.
We talked a little bit about it last night on with P-Dog and the platinum plan that Trump put out there. Like he wants to make the KKK and Antifa organizations. And I got to forget what the other pillars are off the top of my head. But yeah, we did discuss it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I just didn't realize that's a name of the plan.
Right.
I forgot that. Yeah, that was on last night's show. End of news time?
Something like that. Yeah, I cannot remember what the other 2 points or pillars of his plan were, but yeah, we discussed it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's your time. Questions, comments, concerns, throw them into chat now. We'll do our very best to get to them. Wow, they've already started questions. You guys know questions are coming. You jump in the gun. How dare you?
I know, right? It's almost like they expect it for some reason.
Ranting Monkey, a.k.a. Lords of the Night. Young guys are awesome. Oh, you guys are awesome. But I think you should keep question time to 10 minutes tops. We want more of you guys. Well, if you want more of us, ask entertaining questions.
Yeah.
You can. There are times that our answers go so long that I forget we're on question time.
Yeah, there's that too. We are long-winded, you know. From
Yeah.
time to time.
Ask us for our opinions on deep subjects. We'll be happy to give them to you. Understatement. Thank you so much. Satsu isn't joking. I live in a major liberal city. Women will really talk about their abortions like that and with that exact accent.
Yeah, it's true.
Well, we've seen. I mean, they fucking t-shirts. Woman going up there and accepting an award at a what was it? The Emmys, the Oscars, whichever it was. I couldn't have got this if I hadn't have gotten that abortion.
Oh, God.
Like, what in the ever-loving fuck is wrong with you? Even if you think, okay, it's between her and her doctor, shut the fuck up. That's you and your doctor. I'm not either of those. Anyway, has Lady Monkey agreed to give you a hall pass for ACB yet? No, I haven't asked. See, okay. I want Barrett to get on the court. And it has nothing to do with her jurisprudence. I just would finally like to have a fuckable Supreme Court justice. We ain't had one. We need representation. Now, I can't speak for the ladies if they'd be like, oh, yeah, I would put my pubic hair on Thomas's Coke can. But for the men, we've had O'Connor, we've had Ginsburg, Kagan, Sotomayor. We haven't had a beautiful woman up there, and it's about time. It's about time. Hashtag bangable Supreme Court justice. Did you guys see Biden claim he's been in Congress for 180 years? Yes. Yes, I did.
God damn.
Here's the thing. I don't know if that video has been altered or not. If it's real, it's depressing. Hang on a second. You guys will have to let me know if you can hear it. Here we go.
I've made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago, as well as my tenure as vice president.
Time I got it. It explains why he has trouble remembering things, guys.
So, it's not even like a close number. Like he just 100, and there's so many syllables there. Like what?
Well, I'm thinking like, okay, well maybe he meant to say 80, and then it's like, but
even that's wrong.
But
Celtic, thank you. You don't get to tell me what to do when I put those legs, arms, and brains out because I'm a woman with a brain. Actual quote from a woman I work with. Oh, fuck off. Wow. Not you, her. Thank you for the donation. Yeah, what is it? 47 years he was in Congress?
I believe something like that.
And is that just Congress or Congress and as vice president? Something like that. But yeah, it's definitely not 80. And it sure as fuck ain't 180.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fucking, why are you back? And why are you that horny?
Are you, Monkey, are you Pinocchio?
No.
Are you sure?
I have no conscience, not even a little cricket one.
Oh, okay.
What in the... Shut up!
Why don't you track it down like a bat?
It's outside.
So?
It's dark out there.
Well, then send Lady Monkey if you're too scared.
I'm not too scared. You ever try to find a cricket in the dark at night outside? When you get close to them, they shut up. And they tend to be black.
Oh, dear.
That they blend in with the...
Yeah, no, too late. Racist.
All right. Let's see where we at here. I'm not acknowledging that. Do you think the Dems will increase the number of justices? And since some are saying they will, is there any reason Trump shouldn't beat them to it? I mean, if they got power of the Senate and the presidency, probably, yeah.
Yeah. They
would probably do it. Is there any reason Trump shouldn't beat them to it? Yeah, for once, take the high road.
God forbid.
Just once. On this, look, again, I wouldn't mind having more justices, but if you're going to do it, it needs to be laid out. Okay, 4 years from when we decide we're going to have more, after the next presidential election, unless you're really close to one, say, I want it at least 6 years out. Then we'll add 2. That next president's going to immediately get to add 2. And then 4 years after that or 8 years after that, we'll add another 2. It should never be what the Democrats are talking about, a punishment. And it's sick that they're doing it. So I hope Trump doesn't do something like that because all that's going to do, like, well, we should have 45. Yeah, that just gets into an arms race of justices.
You guys want to hear the spiciest of spicy takes?
Please.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg is going to be replaced by a woman who walked through every door that Ginsburg opened for her so she can promptly use her position to shut all of them behind her.
So Kagan, Sotomayor, they have no power whatsoever. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, those 2 women don't override that other one.
Yeah, they don't sit on equal terms with whatever Barrett's going to end up being. Okay, sure. All right. Good job depowering 2 Supreme Court justices right there. Female ones by that fact, too.
I mean, they effectively depowered all of them. For whatever reason, people seem to think that Ruth Bader Ginsburg was the king or was the queen of Supreme Court justices. And she sat on a throne in that room and told everybody else how to think and what to do. And every decision that got made was solely because she forced everybody to do it. People really think that. They're like, she is exclusively responsible for all the things that we think are good. And I'm like, but there's 9 of them.
Yeah.
9.
That's why no one person has control over everything. That's the whole point.
She did. Ruth Bader Ginsburg did. She had sole responsibility for everything. And now this person coming in is going to single-handedly destroy everything that they like. That's how it works.
Every time there's a new justice inside or coming up, the opposite side of the equation will claim that doomsday is about to befall us if this person gets on there and is going to turn back the clock on insert your pet cause or law or something. And it's just bullshit.
Professor Cass, thank you so much. Republicans could just repeal the act, increasing it and return it to the previous size. The size can change either way. The problem is you cannot remove those justices unless you're going to impeach them. Once they are on the court, they are there for life. So you can say when they die, then their seat's gone. But then the next president can be like, no, it's not.
Yep.
They get to serve in times of good behavior. So unless you're going to impeach them, you can shrink it, but only after they die. It's their seat till they die or retire. Where were we? My nursing home has drastically increased the internet speeds. Can one of you help me figure out game streaming or streaming a game? I can point you to some videos that I watched. I tried helping Stunlock figure things out, and it wasn't going very well. But I can show you the videos that I watched. It's really a pretty simple process. I just apparently don't explain it well. Yeah, that was a clusterfuck. Sorry, Stun. I tried. I was trying to think of all the little things that I remembered. What was the one that I always try to tell people? I start a stream and then I stop it. I start a stream to make sure my speeds are okay. And then I stop it because I have a couple of things I do before I actually start the stream. And I have that limited satellite time. So then I come back and I hit it so that I'm not wasting that little bit of extra, Okay. And I'm trying to explain that to him and he's not. Oh, Lords, would y'all try grilled aged veal topped with pineapple ring, a side of egg drop soup, and a Barbie TM glass of pink vodka? It's just the color. No, I don't eat veal. And it is a principle thing. Let the damn animal grow up. If other people want to eat it, that's fine. For me, I'm not eating baby cow. Gentlemen, veal?
I don't know that I've ever had veal, so I don't know.
I am certain I've never had veal.
You know the only place I've ever had veal? My school used to serve it.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. and it was tasty. It was wonderful. And that was school veal. So I'm imagining the stuff that you would get from a supermarket, cook yourself, is really, really good. But as soon as I learned what it was, I'm like, nope. Look, when it comes to now, if the world was ending and I had nothing left to eat but a baby cow, yeah, I'd eat the fuck out of that baby cow. But right now, we still have the big ones. So just give me a fucking steak. Does the chat, aka Check Your Logic, have a problem with me asking that? Oh, what about shortening it? Dude, people are allowed to have their opinions. Nobody give anybody shit for it. Lords of the Night, have you been sucked into the, oh, wow, isekai anime? Is that how you say it?
Isekai, yeah.
I was close. What is your move? Do you have a harem? And are you good or evil? I don't know what the fuck that is, so I don't know.
Isekai means other world. So if you were somehow woke up and you fell asleep in this world and woke up in a brand new world, like a whole new place.
A whole new world.
Would you be good? Would you be evil? How would you? And I guess it depends, because there are fantasy isekais, there are futuristic isekais, there are some that are like modern day ones where you show up in another world, but it's just like an alternate reality than the one you were already in. What's the setup here? I guess it depends.
Yeah, my power move is the dick slam, and I'm good. And of course, I have a harem. I'm a charming guy.
These are called Power Gamer Fantasy Tabletop RPGs.
Right.
I played those before where it's like, okay, we're going to play this game, but what you're doing is you're playing yourself in the situation. Those are always the most unfun games I've ever taken part in, because trying to make a fictional version of me and deciding what I would do on those circumstances, I wouldn't even get involved. Like, I'd be smart enough, like, I'm not going into that haunted house. I'm going to go home. Forget this, because if I was actually playing myself, I wouldn't be interesting at all in some fantasy universe. So, yeah. Otherwise, like power wish fulfillment and everything else. Yeah, sure. I'd have a harem. I'd have the ability to become a stop time. Freezing time would be like my superpower. That kind of thing. Yeah.
Oh, Green Death asked an interesting one.
Hang on 1 second. Faithless says, I concur. Richo 8181. Questions have gotten stupid after 3 years of nightly questions. You're able to ask them. We talked about a whole bunch of stories tonight. Don't you have any questions about what they were? Or more deeper thoughts? What was his question there? I'm not sure if you've seen my question or not, so I'll ask again. I haven't. Look, I go in order from where they were asked first. I am like a page and a half up. So, you get $200 every time somebody lies. What's the fastest way you make money? Or every time somebody lies to you, what's the fastest way you make money?
Become a politician. And then go to Congress.
I just ask him if I... Well, I'll ask him, would you mind helping me? I'm hurting right now. Would you mind helping me?
Yeah, I know what I do. I'd say, date women.
No. You know what I would do? I would go to retail stores and ask everybody how's it going.
There you go.
Oh, dude. Yeah.
Dude, for every living the dream, I become $200 rich.
That's awesome. That's brilliant. Good job.
Dude, I'd be rich.
Good job. Yeah.
How's it going, dude? Living the dream.
Can't complain.
Did you guys see Baring's video on feminists and astrology? No, I saw he made it. I haven't watched it yet.
And I haven't watched Baring in a long time.
Green Death's question is right here. You get $200 every time someone lies to you. Lords of the Night, I sacrificed a child for a chance of a gold statue. Well, that's not evil at all, right? So fuckable representation on the Supreme Court, Ranting Monkey? Yes, of course. Why should it only be old ugly bitches? That's racist or something. Ageist is what it is.
Amy Coney Barrett, first Supreme Court MILF.
Yeah. Come on, she's cute as shit. Where are we at here? Okay, sorry, it jumped. Why is the Second Amendment such a hard thing for these new lefty constitutionalists to understand? But abortion, a derived right from, I cannot read that, of an amendment is somehow sacrosanct because they like one and not the other. That is literally it.
It's very simple.
Yeah. Free candy days around the corner. So where's the monkey pumpkin shirts and Munko Lantern coffee cups? Write it down now. Oh, shit. I gave my pen to Little Butt.
Uh-oh.
I will do my best to remember that. And if I don't, somebody remind me on Monkey in the Morning next time I do one. If he was around 150 years ago, why didn't he stop slavery? Oh, I'm sure he was... He was probably in the process, you know. He was against slavery before everyone else. Did you guys see that the kids in Jacob Blake's stolen vehicle were not in his custody? What? So when he got shot, he wasn't even supposed to have those kids? Is that true?
Is that right?
I don't know.
I would have thought we would have heard that. Well, maybe I don't know. So he was technically kidnapped? Wait.
Well, that's what they said. Can we add kidnapping to the list of charges?
Yeah, I'm confused now.
He was also VP for 10 years, not 8. Oh, is that what he said in there? It cuts off right after that, so I didn't even see. Why is the show Friends so loved, even though it is such an overrated show? You find it overrated. Very many of us really, really liked it. Go watch your Dane Cook specials. I'm sure they were funny to you. Monkey, is it in the 70s as far as temp there? Yes, it's been kind to us lately. Somebody had asked me earlier up, and I meant to answer it, and I scrolled past. I'm sorry. They asked me how I'm doing. Same as I have been. Thanks. Did you guys cover Biden telling the military in a speech, yeah. Clap, you stupid bastards? Yeah, we talked about that yesterday, too. And weren't we told that was an old video? I think I saw that it was, from 2016, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was talking to some soldiers. And somebody said it looked like it was a USO show. I don't know where it's exactly from, but yeah, it's not a good look. That's Sean with the same question he asked earlier. So the cricket is a Democrat. You leave asshole alone. He's not that big of an asshole. Do 13% of crickets make 50% of the noise? Wow.
That's ignorant.
Cricket lives matter. You see where we're at in the chat here.
We're getting there.
Say his name, Jiminy. Stop it. God damn it.
I hate you motherfuckers, man.
Sometimes.
Good Lord.
Let's see. What was that? The high road results in a 15-judge SCOTUS that makes it legal for your son to be taken from you, raped, and told he's a girl. I mean, if you think the next president's going to do that, then by all means petition Trump to turn it into 15 right now. And then you know what they're going to do? They're going to make it 25.
Yeah.
What'd you win?
Pancakes.
If the new justice can destroy previous legislation, here's a crazy thought. Don't legislate from the bench. That is actually a good point. And look, there's times it's not just legislating from the bench. It's there have been some bad rulings from the court where they're just misread, misinterpreted the Constitution, and it's taken a while for us to fix it. And that's okay. But yeah, there is some legislating from the bench that shouldn't happen either. How's Biden's claim that he's been in office 150 or 180 years a gaffe? Have you seen how old he is?
Yeah.
Well, he may be that old, but he wasn't in Congress that whole time. I'd like to remind you of Sandra Day O'Connor, who opened the door for RBG. That is, well, no, she was a Republican or a conservative.
Yeah. And it is known that when conservative women succeed, it is not a victory for women overall.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't open any doors.
No.
No, they were held open for them by men.
Exactly. Who also hate women. They just, for some reason, are very selective, I guess.
Lords of the Night, did you see Gavin Newsom just signed a law allowing transgender inmates to be placed into prison by their gender identity? I did not, but tell me, did Wiener put that bill forward? That sounds like a Wiener bill.
Maybe that's what it's called, the Wiener bill.
Look, I didn't name that dick. That is a stupid idea, and they're going to realize that when they start having all kinds of problems with female inmates getting knocked up or raped or sexually assaulted, as has happened in several cases where this nonsense has been allowed.
You know, it is fascinating to me that they don't think that that is an issue. When that shit happens with the guards, like the guards do that shit to the inmates at times. So what the fuck make you think? I don't know. I don't get the logic behind it. But this is one of those things that I'm just like, I don't give a fuck. Let them do it. The consequences will happen. I don't care.
If Biden says the number of justices will be 150, who has said he would kill Medicare and Social Security, who for decades is a known plagiarist and an idiot? Yeah, I mean, you start up in the number of justices, you're just going to get into a war with that shit. This is the same thing Lindsey Graham tried to warn them about with the fucking Merrick Garland thing. It's just going to keep escalating. VO comes from 6 to 13-month-old cows, not calves.
Excuse me.
You mean a baby cow? Lamb is 8 to 12 months old. I don't eat lamb, and species age at different intervals, don't they?
Who the fuck knows?
I mean, a cow is usually what, full grown at say 5. A child certainly not. What about a dirt cookie? Would you eat a dirt cookie? No, that's nasty. You know what? I probably would if Little Butt came to me and like, eat this, and she looked sad. If I didn't, I would probably bite into it. Terry, thank you. Why not cut to the chase and just have 330 million Supreme Court justices? Yeah, let's just do it.
Hell yeah. Go hard or go home, bitch.
Yeah, don't pussyfoot around about it. Just do it.
Because when everyone is supreme, no one is.
Yeah. Oh, good God. That jumped a lot this time. There's the Cricket Lives Matter. There's the 13. There's the Newsom.
Supreme Victor.
There we go. Where are we at? Oh, Lords. When are we going to see a TED Excellence with Scribe's sister? Soon, maybe? Perhaps, perchance?
I talked to her about
a comedy one.
Hello?
Yeah.
You both talked at the same time. Go ahead, Scribbles.
Oh, okay. I have talked to her in the past about like coming on a Familiar with the Matter or something. And every time I bring it up, she's afraid that she's going to accidentally dox herself or me in just casual conversation. And so just her fear of that and doing a live stream where I don't have any editorial control makes me nervous and makes her nervous, obviously. So it's possible that I might do a Familiar with the Matter pre-record at some point. So just in case something goes wrong. But I don't think we're at a stage yet where at least she feels comfortable doing a live stream necessarily. So not in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I get that. She could easily let your name slip or something like that, or maybe you get too comfortable and accidentally say hers. It could happen.
Well, or she talks about like, I mean, there's a zillion different things. The way that we interact and how comfortable we are with each other in just casual conversation. It's entirely possible, if not likely, that either she'll say something she doesn't want out there, or vice versa. So better safe than sorry for the time being.
Monk, would you still eat raw hot dogs if ranch dressing disappeared forever? Yeah. Sometimes I'm too lazy to even open the ranch bottle, so I'll just eat them raw right now. So with that, guys, it is 11 p.m. It is time for us to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out with us and for the donations. You guys are very, very generous. Don't fret. We will be back on Monday over on Satsu's channel, 9 p.m. Eastern time for more Lords of the Night. Me and Satsu are going to be over on 2 Cents Plus in just a few minutes playing some more rap. Scribbles, you're going to be where?
I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm taking the day off. Monday, I will be back at noon Pacific time for another duo TED Excellence with Kurt Metzger. And Wednesday, I hopefully will be doing something similar with someone else. And then Thursday, hopefully with Satsu. It's going to be a busy week next week, so look forward to that.
You got any solo streams planned, Satsu?
For tomorrow? Or
tonight, tomorrow, whenever?
Well, we're playing Raft after this, but tomorrow, I don't know, because we stream at 7 tomorrow, so it might be a little more difficult to do one early in the day. Just check your messages. If one pops up, you'll see it. Make sure you got that bell clicked and you got the 2 lines over the top. Make sure everything is selected. Or follow me on Twitter so that way you can get notifications when I go up.
Indeed. Follow us all on Twitter. Follow us on all our channels that are linked below. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us. Scribe, Satsu, a pleasure as always, gentlemen.
Whatever.
Everybody have a wonderful night. We'll see you next time.
Fuck off.
Bye.